up to yesterday.
Ahmed Afif Amran leading from the front, as he did in race number 2 of the season, and he was able to actually go the Pittsbike JRT one-way team. Afif picked up his first points of the season yesterday. He'd had 4 did-not finishes prior to that. He'd actually performed pretty well in qualification in all of them. 𝕙𝕠ℕ𝕊𝕜 Boimpeng from Team One for All. He got a P2 yesterday, which is his best result of the season, currently 6th in the overall championship standings. And look out for Team One for All, because 𝐂𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢 is still on pole position, and they performed pretty well so far this year. Hafeeza Rofo, a real superstar on the Capri circuit in Malaysia, bit of an expert on these underbone machines. He qualified in 6th place. This is Shafiq Grosley, who's also on the Capri circuit back in Malaysia. And he's not had the results perhaps that he thinks he deserves. He had 1 did not finish, he had a did not start in Malaysia, a couple of P8, so look out for Shafiq, who will try to stay within the leading group. And then alongside them you've got Indonesia's Murabil Vitoni from the LFN Indonesia racing team. The black and gold, easy to pick out. He will start on the 3rd row of the grid. It's the 30-second marker about to be paraded. Sugo bathed in sunshine. Look at the lovely fluffy clouds just above the beautiful blue sky. Conditions absolutely perfect, but we are in the hills. It can be very changeable. Rain is predicted for maybe later on today, 6 or 7 o'clock. There was rain this morning. Warm-up was carried out in wet weather conditions. But it's a glorious day at the moment. 30 degrees plus. This is the Underbone 150cc. This is just the formation lap, and let's run you through the runners and riders as they are. 𝐂𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢 for Team One for All on pole position, ahead of 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐿 𝐒𝐻𝐲𝐻, number 2 in the championship, and Hafid from Indonesia on the Yamaha in P3. Ahmed Afif Amran, expecting more from Ahmed Afif from Cardinals Racing Team in P4. 𝕙𝕠ℕ𝕊𝕜 Boimpeng, Team One for All, P2 yesterday. Hafeeza Rofo, 𝐿𝑥𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢 TKR Racing Team in P6, very capable of getting a victory. 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐢 Trilakshana, yesterday's race winner, a previous champion in Underbone. Shafiq Grosley, very capable racer from Malaysia. Murabil Vitoni from the LFN Indonesia Racing Team. P10 goes to Kapita Krishna, 2 times the champion. John Emerson Ngito, who was fast this morning in warm-up, and Ahmed Fazli Sham, the Malaysian veteran from the 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐢 TKR Racing Team. Jordan Badaru, who started the season well, hasn't really been able to build on that. He's alongside Nazrul Izzat Bahaudan from Malaysia, and Dimas Juli Atmoko, who starts in P15, started P20 yesterday. Giancarlo Maurizio from the Philippines in 16, ahead of Ayman Tahirudin, who had to retire yesterday. And then the Vietnamese Nguyen Duc Tan for Honda Racing Vietnam in P18. Final row of the grid is Nguyen Antoine, Honda Racing Vietnam, and April King Moscado, who again was pretty quick in warm-up this morning. Had a disappointing time, April King Moscado. I think many in Philippines, and certainly the neutrals here, are expecting a bit more of him. Best position of him so far this season, a P6. Japanese hospitality and courtesy has been evident for all to see. It's been a really enjoyable first introduction to Sugo. I'd seen the circuit beforehand on TV, but once you hear that particular part of the track where you're coming up the hill into the chicane and then up that 70-meter rise, it is a long way up that hill. It's a long way to walk up that hill. And underbones, well, if you're in the lead, they can be very dispiriting because you'll be towing people alongside you, and they will almost inevitably overtake you at the end. 𝐂𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢 first once again, getting in there nice and quickly. Team 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐢 TKR, their boys, they've got 3 racers in here today. Ahmed Fazli Sham, 𝐻𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢 Trilakshana, yesterday's race winner, of course, and Hafeeza Rofo. There is 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐢, the red numbering and the red helmet. And Barry Russell is back alongside me, double shifting for Barry. He's doing the pit walk, he's doing the emceeing, he's also co-commentating here. And 𝐻𝐻𝐻𝐢 didn't give a lot to you in that interview, did he? But he did give enough away to say he's confident.
Yeah, he is confident. You could see actually with all three riders, they were pretty tense on the grid, as they should be. Here's the start.
Underbone 150cc. Everybody on the grid ready to go. It's a 10-lap race, and 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐩 gets off to a decent start. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨 is caught though on the line, and 𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐩 will be the man who takes the lead going into the first corner. 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨 P2 for him. 𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐾𝐚 has got up into P3, so a solid start once again for 𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐗, but it's not a lead that normally holds in Underbone, but he's quite happy to take the lead going up the hill for the very first time. In fact, 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨 has come back and will slingshot up the hill, going up to the highest points in the circuit. It'll be 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨 who has the lead.
It's always like that, Des. As soon as by the time you finish the sentence about the leader, there's another one.
𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐗 has got himself very early up into the leading group. Yesterday, Barry, it was noticeable that he was in the secondary group. He was quite a way down, 2 or 3 seconds down at the midway point, but then manipulated his way back. Somebody's gone very, very wide there. Actually, somebody's got a problem. Looked like April King Moscato.
Hopefully not. He's had his share of problems this weekend. I think that's Hafisa Rofa having a look, but so is Afif Amran.
Afif Amran.
Why am I even bothering?
Indeed. Cardinals racing team, yeah, there's an early problem. We've got a casualty. 23, 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨 is out. The champion.
Disappointing for 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨. He hasn't had a fair run of luck, really.
And 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨, bad news for us. He had the onboard camera. I wonder if he can give it to somebody as they go past him next lap round. I don't think so. Anyway, Afif Amran, who led for 6 or 7 of the laps yesterday, Barry, he's leading going up the hill once again, but once again, he's overtaken by Team One for All's 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨. So Afif Amran certainly likes to go from the front, but he's overtaken by 1, 2, 3. Oh, he's got himself back into P2.
Yeah, that's a pretty quick Yamaha, isn't it, that Team One for All machine? We have seen him before out-drag some of the other bikes going up there. 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨 in second now.
Hafisa Rofa is the man chasing Ahmed Afif. They see plenty of each other on the Capri circuits. And 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨 not too far adrift of what's going on.
It's right what you said, Des. 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨 hasn't given himself as much work to do as he did yesterday. So if he can just stay here or hereabouts.
𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨, and sorry, I cut you off. 𝕚𝕤𝕝𝕒 is also there, the Indonesian. He hasn't scored the points perhaps that he would have liked. As for the Filipinos, John Emerson in Quito, he's in P9. He's in a secondary group, so you've got an initial group, but they do bunch up again pretty quickly.
Yeah, John Emerson's been impressive this weekend through free practice, qualifying-ish, and in the race. And in warm-up this morning, he was quickest.
Yeah, all 3 Filipinos did well this morning, didn't they? April King Moscato was also there, but April King's had a tough old time of it. Where he is, he's got up to P11, April King Moscato.
Yeah, and that's 𝕚𝕝𝕒 tracking 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨.
Early stages, Afif Amran led up the hill at the end of lap number 1. He's going to lead up the hill at the end of lap number 2. It's leading up the hill at the end of lap number 10 that really matters.
Yeah, this time 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨 is down there.
We've lost 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨 quite a bit. Both Team One for All races have he's lost out.
He's gone backwards to join Pirapong, who's been towards the rear of that group.
Hafisa Rofa is the new race leader. Afif Amran and 𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨 make it a 1, 2, 3 for Malaysia at the moment. Again, that can change very well. Tell you what, these guys must be sick of the sight of seeing each other. They raced in Capri a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, indeed, wasn't it last week?
Really competitive competition, that one. As Afif Rofa still leads the way. 𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨 second in the championship standings. He'll be with a 25-point differential. 𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨 at the very least needs to make sure he's ahead of 𝐂𝐴𝐚𝐻𝐢𝐨, because there's only 4 races left after this. And if you're, I don't know, 30 or 40 points down with 4 races to go, it gives you an awful lot of work that you need to be doing.
Yeah, he hasn't won a championship yet, I don't think.
No.
𝐻𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨, but he does look capable of it.
Yeah, he's a competent racer. He's had one race win so far this season, a P4, a P5 and a P6. Peter Krejna is out. Jan Duck is way down. But look at the lead that 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐻 has established here. We have had one runaway race in the underbone so far this season. You rarely get them, but in Buriram, I think it was Ahmed Afif Amran in race number 2 was able to scoot away from everybody else. Very rare to see that. And he's trying to do the same again here.
Yeah, let's see what happens as he comes across the finish line. I think that group's trying to suck him back. It's difficult to tell from that angle, but yeah, you can see.
𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐻 leads over the line 3 times. Ahmed Afif Amran has led up the hill 3 times. He's been captured by the line. Must be a little bit frustrating. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐻 is there. You're just dragging riders up with you.
Yeah.
Ahmed Afif in P2. Hafiz Aroufa is there. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐻 is still leading the way. Nazrul Izzat is the latest. Bike number 87 has got himself into a decent position. Nazrul Izzat Bahoudin on the Yamaha for 𝐿MA Racing Magic Asia team.
And I just saw the other Cardinals bike getting amongst it as well.
Yeah, Pirapong, fastest lap, 1:47.4.
So Pirapong on the move. He finished second yesterday, of course.
Barry Russell and Des Corkell on the microphone for what is already looking to be an intriguing, and we're expecting a little bit of mayhem on the last lap here because there's so much competition for place. Hafiz Aroufa takes the wide route outside. Oh, we've got a second retirement. That's one of the 𝐿MA Racing competitors.
Couldn't see which one that was, but
Giancarlo, I think.
yeah, he's spoiling Afif Amran's plans to escape at the front, or trying to.
Well, Afif is there. 𝐲𝐢𝐻𝐢𝐵 in that group. I'm trying to see the red helmet. Oh, he's dropped back a little bit. 𝐲𝐢𝐻𝐢𝐵, there he is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Again, Ahmed Afif decides, I want to lead coming up this hill. It is a strange old tactic, because each time on the 3 previous laps he has been caught by the group as he goes over the start-finish line. This time, just manages to hold on, but by the... No, he's just beaten once again, this time by Hafiz from Indonesia.
Yeah, Hafiz took the momentum that what we saw yesterday on the last lap from 𝐲𝐢𝐻𝐢𝐵 pulling away on that final stretch was still got me scratching my head. I don't know how he did it.
And guess who it was who was pulling away from? Afif Amran. Again, had the same tactic yesterday. It's clearly something Cardinals are working on, trying to get into that lead and get a good drive out of the chicane. Easier said than done.
He's keeping himself in a good position.
Hafiz Aroufa in the green of one XOX TKR racing team. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐵𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐻 in P2. Then you've got Ahmed Afif Amran. Right at the back of that little group, you've got 𝐿MA. So down to P12. They're still in with a genuine opportunity, I think, of taking a victory here. Of those back 4, 𝐿MA, April King, Dimas Julia, Murabil, they're just being dropped a little bit by the top 8.
About 1 second covering the first 7 here, and it looks as though the group behind them could be just hauling them in. Yeah, that group's going to get bigger, isn't it?
Yeah, they have indeed hauled them in, just as I was thinking they were going to be dropped off. But Ahmed Afif Amran is leading by a decent pace up at the front. 𝐲𝐢𝐻𝐢𝐵 still in that leading group. Just make sure you're in a reasonable position with 2 laps to go. Still be in contention with 2 laps to go, and then it depends on your racecraft. Ahmed Afif leads again, going up the hill. It's almost déjà vu all over again.
Yeah, 3rd time, I think, in this race, and he's been swallowed up again before he got to the finish line.
I think it's more than that, Barry. I think it's every single lap. So 5 times he's tried, and 5 times he's been swallowed up. Going into the lead, Hafiz Aroufa once again. There is 𝐲𝐢𝐻𝐢𝐵, red helmet, P5. Just at the moment, Pirapong Luthoinpeng for Team One for All. He's joining them. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐵 has been in or near the front. Also in there, bike number 87 is Nazrul Izzat. This is building up really nicely.
Yeah.
And you're quite right, that other little group of 4 have joined onto the back, so it's 12 with a genuine chance of taking the victory here.
Underbone racing at its best, Des, and this is a completely different circuit to the kind of circuit they're used to racing on, but it works really well.
Lots of smiles in the pit lane, in the garages, as we did the pit walk earlier on before. And smiles of enjoying racing, knowing that there's a tough task ahead. But coming to this circuit, it's different, it's undulating, you've got different challenges, plus the fact we're in Japan, as Nazrul Izzat has the lead for the very first time. Ahmed Afif
there's an
Amran.
engine gone there. That's 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐩, I think.
Yeah, it's the red helmet.
Engine.
𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐢𝐨, yesterday's race winner, will not get a win double. And that is a big, big boost for 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐢𝐨, bike number 98, currently in P3. It's a big boost for Ahmed Afif Amran, currently leading. It's a big boost for John Emerson and Guito. All of those will know. Is it 𝐂𝐴𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢𝐨?
Yeah.
Can we get confirmation?
Yeah, number 60.
Indeed, 𝐂𝐴𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢𝐨 𝐕 is out. So, a P1, a P2, two P2s and a P3, and now it did not finish. Ahmed Afif Amran leads going up the hill once again. 6 times he's led up the hill. This time, he maintains his lead, and he drags along with him 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐢𝐨, bike number 98. Ooh, the whole championship changes with that one moment, with that one blown engine.
It was looking so good with the consistency of 𝐂𝐴𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢𝐨. He got 4 podiums out of 5 starts up to yesterday.
Ahmed Afif Amran leading from the front, as he did in race number 2 of the season, and he was able to actually go and win that. But by then he'd been able to establish a long, long lead, but he's really putting the pressure on. 𝐂𝐴𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢𝐨 is not going to be shrugged off, neither is the UMA Racing.
Nazrul, yeah.
April King Moscado's up there as well. Is that April King? I think it is, you know.
Yeah, it is, yeah, number 23.
Yeah,
23, sorry.
April King's got himself into that little group as well. Well done, April King Moscado. We've been waiting for him to come good for the Philippines and for his own self. He was standout, the best racer in the Philippines Championship last season, won 10 or 12 races.
And Ayman Taradin, Afif's Cardinals teammate, is also in that group towards the rear. And 𝐂𝐴𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢𝐨, who led from pole position, back in about 8th or 9th place.
This is building up beautifully. Ahmed Afif Amran, though, leads, not by much. There's less than a second covering the top 8 racers. And Ayman Tajuddin and John Guito, they're not too far behind now. Neither is 𝐂𝐴𝐻𝐲𝐻, but they need to make sure they don't get dropped, those bottom 3. And indeed they're not. Going up the hill once again, it's a familiar phrase. Ahmed Afif Amran leads going up the hill, but that lead is obliterated by 𝐂𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢𝐨, who just gets the track through. I really am wondering what Afif Amran is thinking on each occasion. Or is it just a case of making sure he's in that front position, Barry?
It's a bit of experimentation, isn't it? The rest of the pack were much closer to him that time, and he just couldn't get away up the hill. The lap before he could, and we've got another
third casualty
out that looks like one of the Vietnamese Hondas.
Onduk.
And Nafisa Rofa getting back in front of Afif Amran.
𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐢𝐨 in that little group as well. Bike number 98, Ahmed Afif Amran. Bike number 50, the easy to see lime green tyres or lime green wheel. 𝐂𝐴𝐻𝐲𝐻 just grimly hanging on at the back for Team One for All. And also Phiraphong in the other easy to pick out orange front with the white racing suit.
Murabil Vatoni, we haven't mentioned him too much, but he's up there as well.
Certainly is, bike 157. Ahmed Afif Amran on the wheel of the front man, who is 𝐂𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢𝐨. April King Moscado has got himself into that little group, the purple livery of UMA Racing Philippines. Really is impossible to pick, and I won't ask you to pick, Barry Russell, because I've led you down too many dark alleys with that question.
Yeah, and I had one lucky comment I made during qualifying. No. Oh, and there's a rider down. I can see.
It's one of the Team One for All, I think.
Yeah.
I think it's Phiraphong Leboingpeng.
I think it is Phiraphong.
So Phiraphong is out. Yesterday's 1 and 2, both out of the race. This time, Afif Amran decides P2 is where he wants to be. Does he make his move alongside 𝐂𝐻𝐲𝐻𝐢𝐨? No, he doesn't. Afif Amran in P3. Go, 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 say the Cardinals racing team. They've got both of their racers in that little group. Ayman Taroudin, who we've not really mentioned, he's at the back of that little tail. Ahmed Afif Amran currently in P3. But the new race leader is April King Moscado from Uma Racing of the Philippines, building up beautifully now as we see a happily walking Pirapong Lavoinpeng. Difficult position to go out on the chicane, but no flag.
Yeah, and
April King is leading the way, Barry Russell.
Yeah, Philippines coming to the fore late in the race. That's Nazrul, I think, behind him, isn't it?
Yeah, Nazrul Izzat was right behind him. But April King Moscado, who's not had the best of seasons so far.
Just looking there at number 24, the 1XOX machine of Hafisa. Yeah, he's capable of a little bit of magic, as we saw in Sepang.
Okay, Ahmed Afif Amran, once again, he decides, I want to lead this. It really has been a brave, brave display from Ahmed Afif Amran. We've mentioned him so often. He's tried to be in the lead. April King Moscado is tracking him. Everybody's tracking him, but April King is closest. They come into the chicane. What kind of a drive out does Ahmed Afif get here?
Yeah, April King really close to him, isn't he?
You always think that Ahmed Afif is a little bit too tight, and April King will take the drag and will be able to overtake him going up the hill.
Yeah, that's it. Well, he's been experimenting, Afif, and now he needs to put it all together.
April King Moscado has the lead coming into the final lap. 6 very, very close to each other. 6 with less than half a second between them. It's mental. It's fabulous stuff. 87, Nazrul Izzat is the new race leader. April King Moscado just behind him. You've also got in there Izzat Zaidi. Ahmed Afif, having been for so long the race leader, he's now in P4 and has to worry because he's got the black and gold of the Indonesians lining up behind him. Murabil and Dimas Juli.
Yeah, he hasn't tried too many times what it's like to not be at the front at this stage of the lap.
But this is surely a bit late to experiment, because this is the last chance he'll have it. April King Moscado has the lead, but Nazrul Izzat goes outside of him. Nazrul Izzat and then our hero Ahmed Afif comes back in to P2. What a finale we're getting. Izzat Zaidi it is, bike 98, who has the lead. Afif Amran in P2. He was sounding confident beforehand. He was looking to be in the leading group. This is building up beautifully. Final half lap. Nazrul Izzat Zaidi hunkers down. Right chicane for the final time, Barry Russell. Nazrul Izzat leads. Ahmed Afif Amran, he decides that he wants to drive out. Ahmed Afif has been in the lead. This time, is he able to get the drag up the hill? It's number 98, Izzat Zaidi, who has the lead going up the hill. No, Ahmed Afif Amran can't get close enough as they come over the brow of the hill. It is going to be a terrific victory for Izzat Zaidi. And Afif Amran ends up in P5. April King Moscado in 2. Izzat Zaidi 1. Murabil 4, Nazrul 3, but Izzat Zaidi, he left it late. Did it perfectly.
Brilliantly judged win by Izzat. Absolutely perfectly timed. You could see all the experience there. April King came through really strongly. He had a lot of momentum, but he was too far behind. And a good result there for Nazrul Izzat. And Murabil, we saw a good result for him. We'll see more in 4th place.
Afif Amran ending up in P5, and we'll talk an awful lot more about him in the highlights, because he was in the lead for so often, but in the end he just has to settle for P5. As for Izzat Zaidi, well, this really, really helps his championship charge, because he was 25 points adrift going into this race. YG Trilaksana crashed out. We are all square at the top of the standings of the Underbone 150 after 6 races of the season.
Yeah, drama in the stats, drama on the track. Des, I'm going to go and do my moonlighting job now. I'm going to head down to Parc Fermé.
So Barry Russell will be doubling up Izzat Zaidi Salahan. 2nd victory of the season after a P4 yesterday. Timed it absolutely superbly. And also a really, really good performance by 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐩. We've been looking for April to really show the form that he showed in Philippines last season. That's his first podium of the season. He has had a P5. Now he's got a podium. It'll move him on to 55 points. And P3 for 𝕙𝕠ℕ𝕊𝕌, that's his second podium of the season. So it's now really shaping up very, very nicely in the Underbone 150cc class. Here's the result. 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐩𝐢𝐨𝐬𝐡𝐢𝐻 by 1/10 of a second from 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐸𝐻𝐢𝐵. 2/10 ahead of 𝕙𝕠ℕ𝕊𝕌 on the Yamaha. 𝕚𝕤𝕝𝕒𝕒𝕒 from Indonesia picking up P4 ahead of the unfortunate Ahmed Afif Amran. 𝕙𝕠ℕ𝕡𝐻𝐸𝐻𝐢𝐵 at 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐸𝐻 picking up P6, just 7/10 down. Less than 0.8 of a second between the top 6. Ayman Taharuddin, good result for the Cardinals racing team, 2 in the top 7. 𝐂𝐲𝐻𝐸𝐻, pole sitter, has to be content with P8 and 8 points. Hafeez Arofa, 3 times he led this race. He has to come up in P9. John Emerson 𝐵𝐵𝐷𝐸𝐻 again, on the podium, ends at 2, finishes in P10. Shafi Grosley again underwhelms with a P11 ahead of Jordan Badaru. Hafid picks up 3 points for 13. Antoine will pick up points for P14 ahead of Phirapong Luboinpeng, who didn't finish the race, so might end up pointless. Same with 𝐷𝕠₃. 𝐻𝐢𝐻𝐸𝐻 Trilakshana, the championship leader. Well, engine failure means that his season hasn't been ruined by any stretch of the imagination. He's still top of the championship standings, but it is now a very, very different scenario as we catch up with number 98, 𝐸𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐸𝐻 Mohammed 𝐸𝐡𝐚𝐻𝐸𝐻, as he goes into the Parc Fermé, having picked up his second race win of the season.
Terima kasih ya, terima kasih, terima kasih. Terima kasih ya. Terima kasih ya. Terima kasih. Terima kasih semuanya ya. Terima kasih ya.
Great performance by 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐦𝐻𝐸𝐻 as well. We had been talking about 𝐂𝐡𝐚𝐻 and how it'd been a little bit underwhelming, but a P2, that'll really propel him, if not into the championship standing, certainly into a situation where he'll be looking to challenge. As for Ahmed Afif Amran, well, when we see the highlights, I'm looking forward to seeing how often I did mention him. He led up the hill on 9 of the 10 laps. On the 10th lap, he decided that he wanted to chase. And even then, in the chase, he ends up with a P5 following a P6 yesterday. Really frustrating for the Cardinals race. And they had a clear strategy, and they were just unable to pull it off. As for John Emerson 𝐵𝐵𝐷𝐸𝐻 for the Philippines, well, frustration for him and frustration for Giancarlo Maurizio. But at least one Philippines team is very, very happy. There's a lot of celebrations going on in that Parc Fermé. And the Philippines, well, no easy group whenever they have an opportunity to celebrate. And this is a good opportunity because 𝐂𝐴𝐻𝐸𝐻 is back in form and is back in contention. It's the Malaysian flag that's raising high. And somewhere amidst that scrum, I hope we'll be able to find Barry Russell. Well, 𝐂𝐻𝐸𝐻 very, very happy. We're going straight on to the podium. They get things done pretty quickly. The Parc Fermé and the presentation area very close to each other. Girls waiting patiently. Let's get your celebrations done, fellas. We've got some prizes to give out. And for once, it won't be 𝐻𝐢𝐻 Trilakshana on that podium. Having had 4 podiums in the previous 5 races, a blown engine means that this season is now blown wide open. Stefan Karapier behind the scenes. The introductions being made. This is behind the scenes of the presentation area. Good to get that. Third place, Nazrul Izzat Bahudin for Uma Racing 𝐻𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐻. Second place, a very, very happy Uma Racing Philippines, April King Moscato. And for the Pittsburgh JLT one-way team, is that Zaidi Salahan. You think he's happy? The Malaysian flag will wave high, and the Nagara coup will be sung with gusto.